This one is a what do we want? Just a little tip, trick, guide, whatever you want to call it. Let's just quickly go into here. I'm not going to use anyone else's creations. I'm just going to use yeah, music tracks. Choose one that's got electronic. I'll do something that's got that one's sort of boppy. If you bring up that, there's no way to click on anywhere there. There's no envelop option there. But if you get, for example, you want this box here to flash to the music, that's what's this showing. So it could be music, a sound effects are like a kaboom. But if you've recorded the kaboom, it comes with an envelope, which is if I grab a speaker. Oops, wrong way. A speaker. That icon there's envelope. When you record a sound, a single audio recording will come or should come with an envelope. If you literally get the envelope and run it straight to there, now when I talk, if I get a play mode, when I, oh man, let's turn you off for now, so you can see what I'm talking about. When I talk, if I speak through there, it picks up audio changes. So the envelope is the same as if I grab a. I'm trying to, for people who don't know too much about the thing, I'm trying to figure out ways I can tell you is what it does without going into technical stuff. Let's hide that out the way. So this one here is your microphone envelope. So it does the same thing as that, but with the microphone. So if I grab that and run it into there, we'll take that out. Go to play, and I speak, it should flash. The thing should flash. If I now give it a, let's say I want it to flash to about a 30. Oh my god, this is annoying. 35. Run the envelope or the microphone to there. If I now go to play mode and I say something, why is it not flashing? Yeah. Okay, I'll do it this way because it'll make it easier. Because I'm not possessing. Hello, hello, hello. You can see it flashing. Obviously, it's not picking me up very well because of our quad aim. If I go to play, I don't want to yell, but if I yelled, as you can see, it's like it's moving ever so slight. For the microphone, if you want it to be more, because their standard pickup in the game is shit. It's pot. And there's no way to go into the preferences in here and go audio mic pickup. How sensitive your mic is. There's no way to adjust that. So the only way you can adjust that is by coming into grab a chip. I'm going to throw the music into there for now. So you can see everything in there. Actually, yeah, I'll leave it like that for now. The only way to do that is if you grab a calculator and go greater than 0. So don't adjust the bottom one, leave it like that. Run your mic into there and then run that into there. Now the catch with this is, as you can see, when I speak, it goes instantly. If you want to avoid that, don't run it like this. Go keyframe, have it on 0, edit the keyframe to the percentage you want, so we went to 30, so go to 30, save. And then we'll go half a second on and 0.2 off. So it's more of a natural look. Then I run that into there. So now when I speak, even if I'm speaking quietly, if I go to play mode, even if I'm speaking quietly, it's flashing half decent. It's not as in tune, so it's not, if you speak quietly, it'll be less dull. It'll be more, make a noise, pop, and it'll do the same brightness. That's the best way to get it to work with your voice. But if you want it to work with the music, so if I go back to edit mode, run you into there, run you into there. Okay, we'll turn the music on, play. As you can see, it is not flashing to the music. And there's no way to connect this cube to the music directly, because there's no, there's no envelop option here. But, here's the but. If you come into here, close that, nope, and grab a speaker and the music, I'll do another one so it's easier. So you place the music and the speaker into the same box, or chip in this case. And then let me just, let's turn this one off so it's not flashing to my voice. So now it won't flash to me speaking. Now if I run this speaker to there, actually you'd be better off setting it to what you want the brightness to be first. Oh my god. I hate Sony's controllers, they're fucking shit. Okay, and then you run that to there. It should now flash to anything that makes noise in this chip. So if I want to come out and go into the actual thing, as you can see when it's playing, it's flashing to the music. That is the easiest way that I've found for it to flash to the music. Is this still flashing to my voice? No, okay. Now, obviously, if I go back to edit, the reason I adjusted that up a bit before I attached this, because if I grab this, I'll turn that chip off and grab a new sphere. Oh my god. Here, a ball there. Okay, and then I'm going to duplicate the ball just to show you why I did that. If I grab this one and set it at the 30 straight off the bat, it doesn't have to be 30, it can be whatever you want it to be. Let's turn you off. And I'm going to run the envelope into both of these, just so you can see why I do it. Now when I go to play, you got to remember, the one on the right is a preset to 30. The one on the left has no preset. So if I go to play, see how bright the one on the left is going? It's going like 100%. This one is not, because I've preset it at 30. So in theory, it shouldn't go brighter than 30%. So if you grab this one, for example, and remove that, and set that to, say, 5%. So 5% is hardly any. And then grab the thing to it and go like that. It should now, as you see, this one here is a lot brighter than this one, because that one's got a preset of 30, that one's got a preset of 5. If you do a 0, it'll be a preset of nothing, so it has no preset, so 100% is what it's allowed to do. That is the reason why I go into it and put the brightness to to the preset. So if I now come back into here, we can close that, move that to there, and move this over to here. I can now turn this one back on again and open it up and activate that again. And if I go a different one, we'll go that and run the speaker straight to that and then run that to there. So what I've done here is I've got a double line. One that's going through up to here if it's greater than 0, so if it detects anything, it puts out a signal. But that's got the delay of, you know, half a second kind of sort of thing. And the other one goes straight to here, so it's a raw output. So whatever this is picking, if it's very little, it'll pick it up. And then if I run a switch, go into there and turn it to power there, and do this to power there. And if I go to my controller, so this is, go away. This is my actual, what my controller does. So if I pull my right trigger, you can see the right trigger goes up and down. We're going to use this so we can select between whether it detects a greater than or a raw. So if we go circle, boom, bring it across to here. So we're running it into the next. So whenever I tap circle, it's going to cycle between A, B, C, D, E, F, whatever. So, and Quicksilver only got a total of 2. It'll cycle between A and B, so which is on and off, on and off. Or, in this case, more than 0 or raw. So now when I come into the actual thing, these two here are flashing to the music, but the middle one is flashing to my voice. At the moment, it's on the greater than. So if I make any noise coming through the thing, it'll pick it up. But if I tap circle, it's now on the raw. So I have to basically yell to get the thing to flash. Then I'm going to flick back. So if you want to make something where, for example, you're in a group setting, you've got a heap of people with you, and they'll be yelling, you can toggle it to the raw, which is what it's in right now. And then it will only flash less bright because it's picking up the raw. But if you're in, then they all leave and you're now talking quietly, you can just tap the button and it will flash for a greater than nothing. And if you want to even make it more user-friendly, let's bring that over there. You could turn around and say, grab the square. Because we're using the paint, let's switch it over from paint to its base color. So we're not using whatever's painted on its surface, we're using whatever that color wheel is. And then we're going to come across here, we're going to grab a keyframe. While it's on greater than, we'll say that we want that to be that color. Save it. Run that to there. Grab another one. When we're using the raw, we want it to not be that color. We want it to be, grab the red, we'll say a blue for raw. So the greenish color is for the greater than, and the blue is raw. I'm using the word greater than because it's this here is saying if it is greater than nothing. You could also come in here and go, if it's greater than 0.5, then you've got to do a volume of 0.5. Like you can see the numbers going up there and there, up the top. So as I speak, you can see, actually if I go, this second, I can get it nice and close. As I speak, you should be able to see the numbers flash of, okay. So when I'm talking, as you can see, it's like getting to like a 0.02, 0.04. That's what my volume is. So I could, in theory, tell this that it is only to put signal out when it gets above 0.01, 0.02. And then it'll put a signal out. So you can do it that way. And then you could also go if it's less than, greater than a 0.02, but less than a 0.04. And then you get another one. And you can set each of those to a brightness level here. And as you speak louder, it will detect you're louder and it will go louder. It will go brighter. But we want to be able to detect raw means what your volume is what's sent through. So the more volume it picks up, so a jet going past will be 100%. Me speaking now is a 0.02% is what the raw is. So what we've got now is the greenish colored one is if there's any noise at all. It will send a full signal. If we cycle to that one, it will be raw. So whatever amount of volume is coming through my microphone will be sent to the box. So if we now go to there, it's green, so it's on greater than. So if I make any noise, it doesn't matter how quiet the noise is or how loud the noise is, this will flash the same amount. If I hit the button, circle, it turns to blue and now it's on the amount I speak. So again, a jet going past will be 100%. This will brighten up to the full amount it can, which is 100%. If I speak at 50% volume, it will brighten to 50%. 100% is just pure bright white light, like it's blinding. 50% is like halfway there, if that makes any sense on the explanation. So this here's only going to 30% is its maximum it can go to. If I come in and go to edit mode, we'll back out. Let's move that closer so we can see it. Let's grab another shape. I'm going to make it a different shape so you can tell it apart. We'll go triangle or cone. Let's plonk it there. And just say we preset that. Okay, so you can see it. Okay, there's the 50%. And there's the 100%. So you don't want 100% because that is going to go blind. But if I set it to, we'll go 50%, grab the envelope, go into there. Now this one here is going to be 20% brighter than this one. Let's have a look there. As you can see, it's 20%. Now, if it's still too bright and you don't care on the color, if you come into the object, we'll choose the paint tool. I'm going to go black, just to start with. Square. Now we want to go to the snap to surface. Boom, black. The cone is now black. But I want to show you how it works. So I'm going to go white. If I go to the tip, fire it. Forget. Okay, this controller is doing my head in. Okay. I've got to sit here and go really calmly. Really calm. There we go. Okay. Let's put a heap of blend on. So that's about 50% blend. And then we'll just shrink it down a little bit. And we'll go about there. So, what we've got is a white at the top and a black at the bottom. Because the way the light works, if it's a pure black, you're hardly going to see it. So if I now play it, so the top, as you can see, is fully bright. But the bottom, it doesn't seem to be flashing. So what you can do, in effect, is if I go back into the edit mode, make it pure black, and we'll grab, just say, that shape, and we'll grab it, it's already on sharp, and we'll just do we'll say that. In theory, that it'll be flashing, but you won't see because it's black light, because a light that is black it's not light, it's shadow. So in theory, you shouldn't see the black part light up, just the white part light up. So if you come in, there you go, just the white part is flashing. In theory, technically the black part is flashing, but because it's black, it's putting off black light, and black light, watch Smarter Every Day or one of those YouTube videos to see the difference between a light that is black, because they do experiments with it, and a light that is white. The whiter the emitted light, the brighter it'll be. So the yellows, the tans that will not be as bright as the white. That's a way you can adjust the brightness as well. You could go like this is 50%, but if you want it to be the same as that, if you come into here, we'll grab the circle, and we'll put a color that is about 50%, and then we'll grab that one, and we'll put a white. I know it's not accurate, but that white part should be roughly the same brightness as that grey part, because that's actually pretty close. That is a little bit brighter, but because that's a darker light, but that's a whiter light, but this is shooting off brighter and that is shooting off duller. That's one way of controlling your brightness of your light. But my tip is, if you want to make an object flash or anything like that, when you place the object, before you hook the light up, pre-select the brightness you want it to go to. So you can look at it, that's as bright as it should go. Obviously, the game can sometimes, throw a curveball and it'll shoot off into the like really bright for a split second or something like that. So you still have to be careful of that. But generally speaking, the maximum brightness you should get out of that one is a 20%. So that one there, I should get a maximum of 5%. That one should be, if you hover over it, 30%. This one here, if I hover over it, 50%. And this one here, if I hover over it, oh yeah, because it's not running through the thing, it's running through the keyframe. That one is set to 0 because I'm running this one through the keyframe. And if you want to check that one, you have to open it up, click the keyframe. That's a 30%. This way here is more editable because you can just come into it, edit the keyframe. Oh, I don't want it to be 30%. I want it to be, we'll say 45%. Save, it's done. Now when I speak, that's going to go to a 45 instead of just a 30. Pick and choose. So these go, that's how you can wire up the thing. Again, if you're doing it to something that has no envelope, put it in its own chip, put the music in there, and the speaker. That's all you need in those two. That, and then you can, come on, there we go. That's all you need in that chipset. That speaker is inside this chip, so it will put out an envelope volume of whatever sounds are in this chipset. So if I add another song into here, they'll both be playing. It's going to be a noisy as hell thing. Like, it's going to make a racket. But this should put out the volume for both of those. So if I now go back in, the other one is really quiet. Maybe I should choose a louder one so you can hear it, because that one was really quiet. That one's fairly loud. Okay. You can kind of hear the music. There they are, they're both going now. I don't know how the program handles two music playing at the same time. So I wouldn't be surprised if I'm only playing one at a time. But now, whatever song I put in there, in this chip, that volume will be relevant to that. So when it's a low noise, it'll be a low noise. This could also work with the whole this. If I get rid of everything that's here, and then grabbed a speaker, grab this, we'll put it at Go 20. Put the envelope there. Now, I haven't tested this, but in theory, it should detect the volume coming from this and run it straight to there. So I'm testing on live here, and that looks like a no, it doesn't detect. So that does not work. You have to use that one. But the speakers, you can just grab it and go like this to that. Place it in. Or even opening that up and going to that. Okay, and into there. So what I've done there is I've wired in the envelope into the speaker. Oh, it's still not showing. Yeah, so that experiment was a failure. So the trick you use for the music doesn't necessarily work with the microphone. You have to run it straight from there to there, and like that. That running from a direct from there to there is a raw feed, and it's going to run at, like as you can see, it's ever so slightly going to 1%. You could, in theory, I'll do another live test for you. Grab a calculator, there we go, and go times, pick a number, I'm going to go 2. I'm still trying to figure out how these calculators do their timesing, multiplication, whatever sort of stuff. Okay, if I run into there, so in theory, the input should be what I would think would be doubled. So if I now speak, it's in a raw feed, but it's working a little bit better. So that could work. Again, you're gonna have to tweak it to your volume of speaking, but as you can see, it's working quite well. It's at a 20%. So if I disconnect, put it at a, say 40%, hook it up. Now when I speak, it should work at a 40% light up. So I can still speak quietly, and it should be doubling the volume, I believe. I believe that's how the calculators work with the multiplication. So if I go to 4, so the 0.01 should now be plonking out at a 0.04. Or I could even come into here and go 10 times. So a 0.01 will be per 0.1, which is a lot more doable in the thing. And now when I speak, you can see it's actually picking up. It's raw. So if I yell, it goes bright. If I speak quietly, it goes quiet. This is the why I was doing it with the calculator and all that. And I was getting annoyed with trying to figure out exactly what to set this at. So that's why I turned around and worked on how bright that was. I worked out with the whole speaker here, and if you set the calculator to a greater than or a less than, it seems to work better. It's more reliable. It's less tweaking needed. It's a lot more chips, but I seem to find it's a lot more reliable. So if you want to do it thermal cheap, this is probably your best bet. Go from controller, mic, to a calculator, straight raw into it. Again, preset your thing, so it should not go brighter than 40%. I say should not. I have noticed like it does sometimes boom really bright. But if you don't mind doing it reliably, you'd have to do more of these calculators, because you can tell it to say it doesn't put light out if it's above a certain volume or whatever. And with music, that is the cheapest way. Stick a speaker in there in the same chip as the music's going, and it will go out again. Preset your brightness. It will then go out to that. So I'm going to call it there, but that's how you can put light in your sculpts to the music or sound. You can also use this for changing the mouth shape, but you'd have to do the greater than and less than. so that if you're making a 100% noise, it's to be the biggest opening. If you're making a 50% noise, it'll be a certain shape. So, and then you test what volume you get out of an A, what volume you get out of a M, or what volume you get out of a D. And then you can choose which volume presets. So a 0 to a 0.1 would be one shape. A 0.1 to a 0.2 would be a different shape. That's the way you'd have to do that. It's a little bit more thermal heavy. So if I bring up my thermals, it's a little bit more thermal heavy. It'll be that one there, because it's gameplay, which are what these are. The graphics are the actual shapes, and the audio, wrong one, is that. Because if I look at that now, its audio is 4%. If I remove that, boom, 0%. Put it back, 4%. If I open up graphics and I go dung 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 dung, 2%. Put them all back, 3%. I'm not going to go into the thermal, how to ease off the thermals, but the less of these you use, the better off you are thermal-wise. So I'm going to call it here. You guys stay safe. Hope this helps somebody. I'll catch you next time.